Imagine standing in the middle of a vast grassland, where golden sunlight stretches across dry, brittle blades of grass, and the air carries the earthy scent of the wild. Suddenly, a strong gust of wind rushes through, bringing with it a sharp, chilling whistle from the horizon. You look up, and in that fleeting moment, a massive shadow glides across the sky, so fast that you can only sense its presence before it vanishes. It's not a cloud. It's not a plane. It's an eagle, a predator with eyes as sharp as blades and wings wide enough to blot out the sun. Today, it's hungry. And when a starving eagle unleashes its fateful dive from above, nothing on the ground, be it a nimble antelope or a cunning cheetah, can be sure it will survive until lunch. Our protagonist isn't just any animal. An eagle isn't merely a bird, it's a symbol of freedom, power, and a terrifying patience. With eyes capable of spotting a trembling rabbit from hundreds of meters above, it's a hunting machine, honed by nature over millions of years. But what makes the eagle truly special? It's not just the wings or the razor-sharp talons, it's the way it lives, the way it waits, and the way it strikes. Today, we'll dive into the life of the sky's true ruler, from the dizzying mountain peaks where it nests, to the moments it turns seemingly untouchable prey into its next meal. Picture this: atop a sheer cliff where clouds drift lazily and the wind howls endlessly, the eagle builds its nest. Not a tiny, delicate nest like a sparrow's, but a colossal structure, crafted from sturdy branches and lined with feathers, sometimes stretching 2 meters wide and weighing hundreds of kilograms. From here, it watches the world below like a king surveying his kingdom. Beneath the cliffs lie fields, forests, and glittering rivers, a never-ending natural buffet. But the eagle is in no rush. It can sit still for hours, its golden eyes unblinking, waiting for the perfect opportunity. And when that moment arrives, it doesn't just fly, it dives like an arrow, reaching speeds up to 240 kilometers per hour. One strike, and it's over. So what is the eagle's role in the natural world? It's not just a predator, it's a vital part of the ecosystem, both a cleaner and a balancer. Eagles help control the population of smaller animals, rabbits, squirrels, even vulnerable young antelopes. But don't assume it only goes after easy prey. Sometimes, it sets its sights higher, on a distracted leopard, or even a fully grown antelope sprinting at full speed. What gives a bird the confidence to challenge such formidable foes? It's the combination of physical strength, hunting tactics, and a touch of arrogance from knowing it's nearly unbeatable. Think about this: while we sit here sipping coffee and scrolling on our phones, somewhere out there, an eagle is silently watching its prey from above. It doesn't rush. It doesn't make a sound. It waits. And when it decides to act, nothing can stand in its way. But the story doesn't end with it being the perfect predator. What happens when the eagle is desperate with hunger? When hunger dulls its patience? That's when things get even more fascinating and far more dangerous. Join me as we dive deeper into the world of this predator. Because when an eagle dives, it's not just a hunt, it's a performance of life and death, where anything can happen. From sweeping plains to dense forests, we'll witness how it turns the fastest and strongest into lunch. But first, imagine being the prey. What would you do when you hear the wind screaming from above? The sky is clear, not a cloud in sight. On the ground below, a herd of antelope grazes peacefully, completely unaware that death is silently lurking above. Suddenly, a piercing screech cuts through the wind, sharp and cold, like the sound of a blade slicing through the air. Before any of the antelope can lift their heads, a shadow plummets from the sky at terrifying speed. Wings tucked, talons spread wide, the eagle dives into its target like a bullet. In a split second, a young antelope is lifted off the ground, its tiny legs flailing helplessly, then silence. It is in moments like these that nature reminds us, nothing is safe when the predator in the sky grows hungry. An eagle's dive isn't a random act, it's the pinnacle of calculation and instinct. When an eagle spots its prey from above, it doesn't dive right away. It tilts its wings, adjusts its angle, and uses wind currents to accelerate. Scientists have recorded that during a dive, an eagle can reach speeds of up to 300 kilometers per hour, faster than a Formula One car at top speed. But more astonishing than its speed is its precision. With eyesight up to 8 times sharper than a human's, it can lock onto a target from a distance where we'd see only a blur. Imagine holding a pen and trying to hit a fly 10 meters away. That's the level of accuracy an eagle achieves in every strike. But not all prey are small and easy to catch. Consider the leopard, a fellow predator in the wild, agile, powerful, and dangerous. And yet, there have been cases where eagles targeted even them. One day in the Serengeti Reserve, witnesses saw a massive African eagle dive toward a leopard drinking by the riverbank. The leopard had no time to react. The eagle's talons drove deep into its back. Though it snarled and struggled, the force from above was overwhelming. In the end, the leopard became a meal for the victor. As unbelievable as it sounds, remember this: a fully grown eagle can lift more than twice its own body weight, around 5 to 7 kilograms. For a small or young leopard, that's not an impossible challenge. So what happens when hunger drives the eagle into even more dangerous situations? When food is scarce, due to drought or competition with other predators, it no longer picks its targets carefully. It becomes reckless. There have been reports of eagles attacking fully grown antelope weighing up to 50 kilograms, 10 times their own body weight. In such cases, the eagle can't lift its prey into the air. Instead, it clamps down with its talons, dragging the animal through the grassland, waiting for exhaustion to take over. It's a brutal, drawn-out battle, and sometimes, the eagle pays the price, suffering injuries from the antelope's desperate kicks. But here's the fascinating part: the eagle doesn't rely on brute strength alone. It's intelligent. In a study conducted in South Africa, scientists discovered that eagles sometimes hunt in pairs, a rare behavior among birds of prey. They coordinate, distracting the prey and making it easier to bring down. Imagine 2 eagles diving at the same time, one targeting the head to confuse, the other striking from behind. This isn't just hunting, it's strategy. A tactical operation, like a special forces team in the animal kingdom. The eagle's hunger is not just a tale of survival, it's a reminder that nature shows no mercy. When the eagle dives, there's no room for hesitation. Every strike is a gamble. Every meal, a hard-won victory. But what happens after the prey lies still? When fresh blood still clings to its talons, and the fierce gleam in the hunter's eyes finally softens? We'll soon find out, because the eagle's story doesn't end here. After the fateful dive, the grassland returns to silence. The wind still blows, but now it carries the faint scent of blood through the air. The young antelope lies motionless, its lifeless eyes staring up at the sky, the very place where its predator had just appeared. The eagle lands, its talons still locked around the prey, wings trembling slightly as if shaking off the tension of the hunt. It doesn't rush to tear into the carcass. Instead, it stands still, head slightly tilted, scanning the surroundings, a habit of a creature that must always remain alert, even in victory. Then, with a precise peck, it begins its lunch. Piece by piece, the fresh red flesh vanishes beneath a beak as sharp as a razor. Watching this, one might think the eagle is ruthless. But in the natural world, there is no place for emotion, only survival. The recent hunt was not merely a triumph for the eagle, it was part of the complex food chain that keeps the ecosystem in motion. The young antelope perished, but in doing so, the eagle lives on to fulfill its role, controlling animal populations, removing the weak, and even aiding in decomposition if it doesn't finish the meal. A bloody lunch, yes, but also a necessary cycle. What's remarkable is how the eagle eats. It doesn't devour its prey in a frenzy like wolves or lions. Every strike of its beak is purposeful, starting with the soft flesh of the belly, then moving on to the nutrient-rich organs. If the prey is too large, the eagle will tear it into smaller pieces, sometimes carrying them back to the nest to feed its young. In one observation in the Andes Mountains, a researcher saw an Andean condor drag the carcass of a hare up a cliff, breaking it apart to feed 3 hungry chicks waiting in the nest. It was a scene both brutal and tender, a fierce predator, yet a devoted parent. But not every story ends in victory. Sometimes, the eagle meets opponents that won't go down easily. A fully grown leopard, for instance, can put up a ferocious fight. There have been cases where eagles broke their wings or even lost their lives attempting to bring down prey that was simply too large. Nature is not biased, it rewards strength, but punishes recklessness. And even after a full meal, the eagle is never truly safe. Poachers, habitat destruction, and climate change all threaten its existence. In many parts of the world, eagle populations are declining, turning once invincible hunters into vulnerable creatures. So what can we learn from the eagle? From its patience in waiting, its calculated precision, to the courage it shows when facing challenges bigger than itself? Perhaps it's a lesson in balance, between strength and wisdom, between the individual and the greater natural community. Humans, with all our technology and intellect, often lack the patience the eagle so effortlessly displays. We rush, we act without thinking, and sometimes, we forget that we too are part of this world, not its sole rulers. Think about this, when the eagle dives from the sky, it's not just hunting, it's telling a story of life, death, and adaptation. From the antelope-filled plains to forests where leopards hide, it reminds us that everything has value, and every creature has a role. And maybe, in our own fast-paced lives, we should pause, look up at the sky, and ask ourselves, if an eagle can survive millions of years through patience and harmony with nature, then we, with everything we possess, what are we doing to keep this world turning?